Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Miss Lots. How are you this morning? Hey, Kay Brown. Good morning, Miss Smith. How are you? You guys know how I do. Luxy Wuxy. What's going on, darling? Your pretty self. Y'all know how I do. So I was in my fields and I had when things start happening, I'm like, wait a minute, I think this is for a reason. So first of all, I hope everybody ate breakfast. I had some grits, I had some chicken sausage, and I had some cheese eggs, and it got me feeling good. And now I'm having my coffee with my hazelnut creamer and feeling really good. The little one is off to school, and I'm gonna turn on my laptop here in a little bit and do some work. Got some emails to follow up on. But what made me say, wait a minute now, I think this is a sign. And all the good stuff too. Watch your intake. I got to get that out. Make sure you're watching your intake. It affects our outtake, and your intake could be what you're watching, who you surround yourself, where you're going. And another message I think that a lot of people need to really, really, really comprehend: everyone is not who they claim to be. So, with that said, okay, good morning, Miss Lots. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Simone. So I was driving this morning, and I don't know what the topic was on the radio station, but this man called in and they quickly got him off the phone. But he was telling a story that his first girlfriend, when he was 15, was his mom's best friend that was 34, that lasted about 90 days. And I said, wait, what? Let him rock. But they said, "Oh no, we don't. We're not going here." And they got this man off the phone, and he was laughing about it. And he shared that he had recently, as a man, he went to her funeral, and he whispered, "Make sure you tell God what you did." And I said, this guy needs to talk. Miss J, you caught one in the morning. Good morning. I am that somebody. Yes, please hit the like button and please subscribe, y'all. I am not too proud to ask. Okay. Good morning, Miss Lady. Hey, Miss Edmonds. Yes, the Cash App is Kathy Chit Chat. I need to put Ruby or something or change it because I'm teaching her about banking and all of that. It literally goes to her account. So she's getting really, really good. I think I'll have to do a video of that because I show her, I take her. If you don't have a relationship with a credit union, please get one. Like, we have our bank accounts and all that, but I can't stress the importance of a credit union. In fact, I might do a live about that, in the next couple of weeks, of just how credit unions benefited me over the years with business loans and CDs and different things for my daughter. But I love taking her into the credit union when she, wants to make a withdrawal or something. It's just really good. But so now to that story, exactly. Right. Okay, y'all. So I know I'm not tripping. So when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. They got this man off the phone. And yes, we need credit unions. They are so beneficial, y'all. I promise you, at 18, when I got this relationship with the see, y'all don't get me started because then now I'm gonna have to do a live about it because I think I really got to share just how credit unions help me with mortgages and business loans. And oh, I love my credit unions. Granted, I got my bank accounts. Never put all your eggs in one basket either. Don't I would never recommend one account, one bank, but different accounts for different things. And credit unions, we need. But yes, Miss Booker, you caught alive. Good morning, my pudding pop. They better stop reporting you. I don't like it. But when I heard that, I said, wait a minute. He was 15 and this woman was 34. And he had experiences with her for 90 days and they cut this man off. And granted, he seemed real, jokey about it. But I'm like, I'm disturbed. So this was the third incident. So I have to go back. So before that, I don't know if y'all seen the baby. He has his own issues within himself, and I'm not even gonna go into all of that. But listen, when I'm one of those people, just because like you're a jerk or you do jerky things, if something happens to you that I feel is wrong, I gotta speak up on it. So the baby certainly has his issues, but he shared a video on the gram, and he it was laughing emojis again, and said this woman just essay assaulted me because she was proposition she wanted a photo, but she kept repeatedly telling him how she wanted him to touch her. But I got to be careful with my words. And she grabbed this man's you know what I'm saying, all on camera. Now granted, like I said, it's a jokey matter. They were calling her auntie, etc., etc., but I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. We can't have if can't no man just walk up to me and grab a chunk of me in my area and that's acceptable. But it's acceptable when we do it and I see time and time again. So I told y'all it was three incidents. So the other one, hey, virtuous woman. So the other one, I was on the book and going through reels, and it was an interview with Richard Pryor. His autobiography, guys, if y'all haven't read it, the stories that oh my gosh, I'm surprised he made it as long as he did with his life. But he was interviewing with Barbara Walters, and he was sharing that he had his first child at 14, and the woman was also involved sexually with his daddy. You heard me right. With his daddy. So, and of course, she was of age. So this boy had his first child at 14 with the woman that was sleeping with his daddy. And granted, Richard Pryor was lighthearted about that. And then he started talking about, how he'll never possibly leave Coke alone and his drug use. But I'm like, wait, I'm sitting here like, am I going crazy, y'all? Because these three now, so this what made me talk about it this morning is like I said, I heard this third story on the radio and these two others this week where I'm like, what is going on? I'm a little concerned. Yes, hit the like button. I saw a grown woman try to grab Usher on a late night show. He was underage at the time. See what I'm saying? Mr. Pratt, great live yesterday, bro. I love to see you live. Great, great live, bro. Proud of you. Good morning, Miss Hudson. And it just got me thinking with all the other situations and, how men have to be tough. But I think there's so many different instances where they're kind of left unprotected. And I'm starting to feel, and I don't think I have to look back because I have a predominantly male family and I baby my babies. They always come and talk to me, they lay their head in my lap and, I get to hear their innermost thoughts and secrets. So I don't think it necessarily applies to me when it comes to the men I know, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect. And I haven't laughed at situations when it comes to men, but then totally neglected how they might feel in that situation. Good morning, Miss Tangela. And it took these three situations to make me say, wait a minute, has society silenced the cries of men and we've learned to kind of just normalize inappropriate behavior simply because it's a man. Can you imagine what would happen if a random man just walked up and grabbed your pocketbook? And I'm not talking about the pocketbook on, that's what my grandma used to call it, y'all. I'm not talking about the pocketbook that we wear on our wrist or, our shoulders. Can you imagine if a random man just walked up and grabbed our pocketbook? But yet women can grab the pocketbooks of men all the time. It's just, I don't know, you guys. I just hearing that man this morning describe his relationship with the 34-year-old woman at 15 just made me say, uh. And I forget what rapper, I think it was Boosie, even though Boosie is pure entertainment. He did state that I think he provided a service to his sons. He had a woman provide service to his son. My pleasure, Mr. Pratt. And I think it's normalized, you guys. I think we're normalizing inappropriate behavior simply because it's a man. And I'm feeling a way about it. I really am. Because in no way should a 34-year-old woman be engaged in any type of relationship with a 15-year-old boy. And when you think about it or just start having random conversations, I was sick to my stomach to learn the first S experience with some of my own, my brothers, my nephews, or guys that I dated. They always refer back to an older woman that was their first experience. And it's like, well, wait a minute, y'all. Let me find out. Women are just walking around here preying on these younger men. And as we age, don't get it twisted. I'm in my 40s and I have to keep these little 20 something year olds away from me. And I tell them, look here, sweetie, I'll change your life. Leave me alone. you know? Um, but I couldn't imagine being 20 and a 13-year-old is pushing up and I just accept it. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Please don't say that I carry a strap. No, exactly, Miss Hudson. Exactly. I pity the fool that ever try to grab my pocketbook. But I'm learning that so many experience that our men have really revolves around an older woman. So many of my brothers or my male friends, I have predominantly male friends, very few girlfriends. I can count them on one hand compared to my male friends. And so many of their experiences are with older women. And I don't know. I think it really is normalized now. And to hear Richard Pryor in that interview when he shared that story, there was such a sadness in his eyes. At 14, you don't know anything about being a father, and for not only were you a father at 14, but this woman was also involved in a relationship with your father. This is wrong. It's very inappropriate, and it makes me feel away. That's just gross to me. That's gross. That lady with Richard Pryor, the guy that called into the radio station, the 34-year-old woman, it's just all very gross. The woman grabbing the baby's area, a whole handful. Like, I just think it's extremely gross and inappropriate. But to be honest, we get away with it. As women, we really do get away with it. And I don't know. I don't know if I have to hold my fellow sisters accountable, or just by simply speaking up on it is, me doing my service to, my contribution to society, to make it known that, wait a minute, these things do occur. A lot of older women are getting a little inappropriate when it comes to underage boys, and it's something that needs to be discussed. And their feelings are certainly valid, and they don't always have to laugh it off. Have you ever heard a man tell a story that was so concerning to you, but he tells it with like this laughter, but he's kind of dismissive to it? It's like they're trained to not take these traumatic experiences seriously or to make light of it. But when you think of it and get down to the nutty gruddy or the nitty gritty, it's like, wait a minute, you're laughing, but this is wrong. Very, very, very wrong. I don't like it. I don't like it. I can never see dating someone my kid's age, like nonetheless a child. Exactly, Miss J. Yeah, yeah. It's disgusting indeed. Disgusting indeed. Hey, Miss Weber, how you doing? That part. No dating under 40. Cause it's like, I don't know. I get it. Love is love and love is blind and all that, but I'm sorry, baby. It should be limits and restrictions, because this is good morning, Pammy Poo. Because this is getting a little out of hand with these teenage boys with these experiences with women of age. What are we doing? That's gross. Shame on you. And a lot of these inappropriate women are our children's teachers. Oh my gosh, Miss J. We just had one moved here from another city because she got caught, 42, and he was 12. Y'all remember that infamous story with that lady? What was it? The Mary Kate Letourneau story, that she got involved with her middle school student, had children by him, her husband left her. She went to jail, honey. That was like a really big deal. I remember they even did a Lifetime movie about that. But it happens far often than we care to admit with these older women, with these putting these young men in these compromising situations. It's inappropriate. Child, there's something wrong with any adult man or woman who has an interest in children. Say it again, Miss Booker. Say it again, Miss Booker. Good morning, my beautiful Gertrude. How are you? How are you? How are you? Love you, love you, love you. Yes, Miss Booker. That boy was 13. Okay, I know you remember. They did. In fact, I think it's still on. I think I watched it on Tubi, but they might have removed it because Tubi has like a lot of the old classic Lifetime movies. Ooh, I love going down that rabbit hole, but it happens far too often, and we say, "Oh, that's gross," and kind of just go on about our day. But no, this is disgusting. I have a son who will be 27, almost 30, so you know that I'm not young. Yes, ma'am. But Brown don't crack. You look amazing. Instead of firing these foul teachers, they just force them to resign. In most cases, they move and keep doing what they do. Yes, I am that somebody. Say it again. They get a slap on the wrist. A slap on the wrist. Yes, get those likes and shares up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Raw Truth says, good morning, Mr. Pratt. So yeah, I don't know. And I hope that, and I hate it because like, oh, whenever I hear something, I'm like, I want to find out more. I really hope that that young man or that older man, because he's not a child anymore, But I hope that somebody speaks to him or he got counseling, because even the radio station, I was so disappointed because he said it and they laughed, and the man, the one of the guest hosts was like, "You was getting some of that old goody." Why are we not? This man just told y'all that at 15, this 34-year-old woman was hunching him, and y'all are giving him high fives or laughing about it. Ew, that's disgusting. We should never normalize anything like that. Call it out. I'm so disappointed in that radio station for doing that and not talking to him further and literally laughing. And the male host wanted to give him a high five. That's gross. Good morning, Miss Hasana. Very unfortunate indeed. Thank you, Miss Hudson. Thank you. Yeah, it's just wrong, y'all. Like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just really, really weird. Child, not her having the baby and the baby black. I'm watching this show, and her little white boyfriend showed up at the birth of the delivery, and when I say that baby black, clearly she was down with the swirl. That ain't your baby, sir. That baby black. Anyway, thank you so much for the super sticker, Miss Weber. I appreciate you. It's just disgusting. Child, that baby black. Now what I meant, I'm gonna have to rewind this. So who the daddy? Yeah, that ain't no white baby now. Um, child. That just caught me off guard. Um, Miss Booker, thank you. Thank you. And that's what I was getting at, because I feel like, I don't know. We don't want to throw the fellow sis under the bus or something, but look here. If Mr. Joe, the handyman, has to be on the registry, so should Miss Karen for hunching at this young age, and we don't see more charges related or stemming to that, because in no way, shape, form, or fashion should any woman of age find any male as a minor attractive or have a strong desire to do anything to him. You are a predator, and we just have to call a spade a spade. That's wrong. I don't get that. Driving and tuning in. Peace, peace, Shakim. I love it. Drive safely. Yeah, it needs to be the same punishments for Karen as it is for Jack, when they commit these acts, because I'm seeing it time and time again, and it's only increasing and it's only becoming more normal of this behavior. And as I saw today, a man can tell his story and people laugh at it, or a male is going to give him a high five, and not understanding the fact that this young man was taken advantage of. Which also brings me to R. Kelly. I mean, my views on him is a little different. I don't. I'm not making excuses for him or his behavior. That's something I'll never do. But I will say that he's a prime example of what can occur when certain traumas are left unattended and unaddressed, because he was introduced to sex at a very young age, and he was over sexualized at a very young age, and he himself will tell you that in interviews, and he was speaking about it for years. So um he was doing things at 10 years old. So it's just, and was taken advantage of by an older woman. So granted, he makes his own choices in life, but I think that he is a prime example of what happens if you don't control your demons, if you don't seek help, or if you're surrounded by enablers or people that make light of the situation, or guys that will high five the boy for having something going on with the older woman. Never should you surround yourself with adults that would approve that behavior, because they can grow up to be a monster. And I think that that's exactly what happened when it comes to the Pied Piper. I would love to see what he could have become had he had a different tribe, had he really addressed his issues, had he sought counseling, had the female in question been charged and went to jail for it. Her identity has been protected for years. but that it's not fair. Another situation of an inappropriate older woman that's never held accountable, and she just gets to live her life. She was protected. He even didn't want to say, and family and friends, and from what I hear, they all know who it is, but she was never turned in. But what would have that been if it was Mr. Jack or Mr., Mr. Smith? Why did the woman get the slap on the wrist? And you contributed to this young boy's demeanor. Sorry, got to call a spade on that one, sis. Really do. See, the ghetto hood and gangster will come out of me if a 34-year-old woman would have hunched my sons at that age. You better say it again, Miss Hudson. I would have snapped because I get thank you, Miss Hudson. Seriously, Mr. Pratt. Seriously. Miss Gertrude says she knows someone who is 63 and dating a young man younger than five of her children. Oh my gosh. I told her she should be ashamed of herself and her children is very young. See, that ain't well, at least you spoke up, Miss Gertrude. My treasure was your hey, my niecey poo. Hey, my niecey poo. See, and we see it. So it's just, I don't know. I just think I think it's, I have no words. I need to look and see if it's a study because I'm interested to know how many men under the age of 18 had their experience with a woman over the age of 18. I'll be interested to see the percentage, and I think it might be really shocking because I know a lot of the men in my life will all tell you it was the one. I won't reveal your identity, baby. But I can tell the story. It was literally the neighbor lady, that hung out and the kids and like the trusted neighborhood lady. And she let him hit at 13 years old. 13. Lady, what are you doing? You're the neighborhood candy lady. And you don't let this 13-year-old boy hunch. What's wrong with y'all? Good morning, Miss Winfrey. Miss J. Chatty, we must have been on the same mindset. I told you my spirit sister. I'm watching documentaries about these adults messing with kids. Hit the like button. Hey, Miss Winfrey, my short-term memory is horrible, so I might have just said it, honey, and I forgot. I would say quite a few, Chatty. I know at least 10 personally. See, Mr. Pratt, and you're a man, so yes, yes, Mr. Pratt. See, that breaks my heart. I feel like it's so common that these young boys have their first experience with the older woman and we protect them, but yet a man, first of all, anyone, let me be clear there, anyone dealing with a minor, you deserve I feel like it should be a special place in the prison systems for those that deal with minors. I think it should be something harsher. My punishment is a little medieval, like hang them upside down by the genital. Like my mind goes elsewhere when it comes to pervs like that. You know what I mean? So I want to be clear. Anyone. However, I do feel like women get away with it more and they're not chastised as harsh as men are. So I want to be clear. I miss you too, my Jay. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Good morning, unknown channel. Unknown channel, who are you? Not unknown channel. I've never seen you before. Who are you? Reveal yourself. Blessings, Cash, my island gal. Yes, it's crazy. Good morning, Mr. Terry. How are you, sir? Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you. Mr. Terry, if you don't mind, do you know any guys that their first experience when they were younger was with the older woman? Only if you feel like answering. You don't have to. Good morning, Miss Brenda. Yeah, I think it has to be a mental illness, Miss Hudson, because let's be honest, no one in their right mind, even my mind isn't even geared to see minors in that light. Mine is not. So yeah, something really has to be wrong with you for you to look at someone under age of a certain age and say, "Oh wow, it's sick." Just the thought alone, just the thought. It's certainly an illness. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Auntie Lisa. Good morning, Brent. Okay, I get you, Mr. Terry. All good. Let's get those likes up. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's just I don't know, y'all. I just feel like if we hold them accountable as males for those crimes, we really need to start looking into the women that do it as well. It's only right and it's only fair. Shame on you, sis. Like we have to at some point, regardless of, girl code or not, girl, if you're behaving inappropriately, you're behaving inappropriately. I can't sit here and wave my pom poms for you simply because you're a woman now. That would be a major disservice. In fact, anyone, child, please don't ever surround yourself with any type of friend that's just always gonna, hoorah your BS. If they not calling you out and saying, hey, wait a minute, then they ain't your friends. Just saying. I plan on coming up with the name for my channel real soon. Okay, but I got to tell you, unknown channel sticks out. It's catchy, it makes people want to know about it. So just the thought, like I would tune into unknown channel simply because I would want to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's great marketing. My personal opinion, I think you should rock out like that. But do you let me know when you change it so I can come give you some support when you upload some vids. do, 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 do. Yes, Miss Asana. Certainly, certainly given bias. Certainly. Mr. Pratt says, absolutely right, chat. I had a friend that worked at Mickey D's when we were 16, and he had a relationship with the manager. She was at least late 20s, early 30s. See what I'm saying, Mr. Pratt? So many men have these stories. It's gross that these women out here are doing this. And we so focused on the men, we forgot that women do it too. Miss J says, morning to everyone in the chat. That's just that part, Jay. Not on my watch. I can't sit around for that. Right, Miss J. The name certainly piques our curiosity when it comes to unknown channel. Yeah, we can't be silent when it comes to something like that. Some of these women are really inappropriate, you guys. It's just something that, like I said, this was the third instance this morning from watching Richard Pryor's Barbara Walters interview from back in the day with him sharing that he had a child at 14 with the woman that was engaged in activities with his own father. The baby's video on the gram with the woman grabbing him up, grabbing a handful, and then this radio interview with this man, he's not young anymore, saying that his first girlfriend was 34, mommy's best friend, when he was 15 years old. That was just enough for me. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm out doing my morning walk. All good, Miss Asana. It has, right, Luxy Wuxy? It has been. I don't know if it's what's happening, but I feel like the older woman, younger man thing has really increased. You see Keisha Cole out with her little 24-year-old boo, and she's what, 42. Granted, he's not a minor, but baby. If you look at little Kim, who's what, 50, she's now involved in some entanglement with her artist who's clearly, I would say this boy is probably 21 years old. And she is straddling him, and they are booed up and playing. And this boy is doing pranks with his friends, throwing footballs on him when they sleep. I don't think that boy is not even 25. And she's talking about I never knew our bond. And your bond, you're 50, little Kim. I can't. I can't. I can't. She posted him. So of course, me being nosy, I said, well, let me go to this boy's page. And I said, oh my God, this is a baby. He doesn't even look 21. Are you for real, little Kim? Why are you straddling this young boy? Why are y'all booed up? Why are you laying your head on his chest? What are you doing? I just, I just can't. Yes, Keisha, little beta, she out hanging with is 42, and Lil Kim in her 50s has this young man who's clearly like, I'll be curious to know his age because by face and clearly when he speaks, like his voice hasn't even done what it's supposed to do. His face, you can certainly tell. I would be really shocked if he was even 25. I would be shocked if he was. It's giving very much 21. I started helping SA children after I seen a 9-month-old baby, 3-year-old, and 5-year-old, all boys who were. But I can't, Miss J. That's right. Treasure Pooh, Drea Michelle, 40, and she's pregnant by 22-year-old Jalen Green. Like, are we for real? Yes, Jay. Go look on her Instagram and her video and her post with her artist. Now, this is also her artist. Oh, child. And then look on his page. You'll see all the videos of them together, and you tell me if they just friends based on what she's showing. I think not. I don't straddle my male friends. I don't kiss on them. I think Jada Pinkett gave older women confidence. That part, because she sure was, listen, August was giving her the wop bop a loo bop a lop bop bam, child. Drea having a baby. Yes, Auntie, having a baby with that young man. Miss Hudson says, my sister had a friend who was sleeping with her son's friend. I spoke up and told her about herself. My sister stopped hanging with her. I'm glad she did. I'm glad she did. Miss St. Weber, beautiful profile pic. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Weber. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Exactly, Pratt. Like literally having a baby with that young man. Yes, Jay, go check that out. And when you do, let me know. You tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just leave it there. Look at the music video they did together and then the long 3-paragraph post of her explaining their relationship and their bond. And then his comment of it's deeper than music. Me and you. Okay, exactly. It's just a little too much, child. A little too much. A little too much. But to each his own, I guess. At least they're of age. My focus is these older women that have these experience, their first experience. That's supposed to be such a personal time, such a private time. And I mean, how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be special and meaningful, but we know that's not always the case. Life's no judgment here, but it's really sad that so many young men were robbed of a situation that could have really meant something, and an older woman took advantage of their curiosity and of their interest, because at that age they are interested. They want to know what it is, want to know what it feels like, looks like, and all that stuff. And you kind of just, I don't know, you rob them of a moment that should have been so innocent. Right. I was curious too. That's what got me to looking, Jay. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. So I don't know, y'all. That was just, it was something that was heavy on my heart that bothered me when I heard that man this morning. That was just the last straw where I said, wait a minute now, what, this is just a little too inappropriate with these older women, with these underage young men, and us kind of just laughing it off. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's weird to me. It's weird. And especially when you age, I couldn't imagine walking down the street and seeing a little 15-year-old and saying, "Ooh, yeah, what?" Oh, even saying it just made me feel gross. My mind isn't even geared to have like that. Is just gross. What is wrong with you, sis? That's horrible. Right, Auntie. The teachers that does it with the students. It's just, how does your mind even think that? Like, you don't have that. Where's your conscience? You don't have that little voice that says stop, abort mission, no, exit, wrong way, U-turn. Like, what is wrong with some of them? I don't get it. It's disgusting. And the sad thing about it at the time is we didn't even look at it like that. We looked at it almost as an accomplishment. Exactly, Mr. Pratt. And then it's, when you share the story, other men look at it like that as well and high five it. But when you think about it, it's abuse. Question, Auntie, can you blame it 100% on the older woman? Are we talking about a situation in which the child is underage? Or are we talking about when it's just simply, a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old? Because I have different answers for that, Nisi Poo. So let me know. I want to answer you right. It's just I can't. I can't. You said yes. Yes, what? Are we talking about when they're underage? Is that the yes? One for underage and two for older to make so I can answer. Oh yeah, when they're underage, I 100% blame it on the older woman because you have to keep in mind, literally chemically, where I don't know how to say this to where it doesn't sound messed up, but studies will say the human mind to certain components of the brain isn't even fully developed until about the age of 25. This is science. Granted, the mind at 15 is certainly going to be different at 21, but they're not even wired chemically to make logical decisions. So absolutely, if they're underage, I 100% hold the older woman accountable because you're speaking with someone who scientifically, mentally is not developed. It literally takes until a certain age for certain areas of the brain to fully develop, which affects your thinking, and everything. So yeah, 100% the older woman's fault for the underage. Oh, nasties. Oh, nasties. I just can't. Makes no sense. I don't like it. Makes me feel away, you guys. So I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I always feel like something leads up to something. Oh, that's just the story of my life. So I don't know why these three stories have kind of hit, and I look at patterns and numbers. Like today was the third, where I'm like, okay, I gotta say something, but I don't know what this is leading up to. If anything, it's probably nothing, but I had to speak on it because I said this is a third man that I've heard this week with a story that was of concern to me. And in each instance, I was extremely disappointed that society kind of just swept it under the rug, which made me look deeper into these women, these teachers, and so many that have been inappropriate with young boys, robbing them of something that is meant to be innocent and pure and beautiful when you think of it. Just gross. Agreed. How about number two? Now, number two, no. I think it's consensual, when they're of age. Like, let's just say with the little Kim situation or Keisha Cole, the older woman, especially. And I mean, let's just be honest, like, women, we kind of get in our prime at a certain age. Um, without getting too much too deep, they say the 40s is where it starts. Um, your drive is like no other. We don't resort back to we don't want it. We resort back to any place, anytime. So I think with the older woman, it's because she's in her prime and she kind of, you know, wants a certain thing because let's be honest again, that could be another conversation, but I'll be nice. Blue, good morning. Depending on if males take care of themselves as they age, they can experience a lot of issues such as erectile dysfunction, things that younger men tend to not have. So I think for the woman that's interested in a younger man, a lot of the times I think that it is based on lust and that desire, to not have to deal with those issues that some men, not all, depending on if they're healthy or take care of themselves, but if they're not, they might be out of shape, they can't last long, erectile dysfunction. Give me 5 minutes, I'll be ready. you know, Sometimes older women don't want to hear that. and so yeah, I definitely, and with the guys in the 20s, let's face it, a lot of these women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are looking younger than some of the 20-year-olds. So they're attracted to them because they have a youthful look, or they're curious, or like, wait a minute, she's 50 but looking like this, look at her body. So I think it's a bit of both. When they're older, they're both curious. They're both curious. Yes, Chatty, we talked about that yesterday. What, Mr. Pratt? What was it? Good morning, Miss Patricia. How you doing? How you doing? Like, share, and subscribe if you are not already. Please do so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My channel thanks you. They got them blue diamonds for that now. All right now. How about being a younger woman and being with an older man? And that could be a mental thing too, because we do mature, faster. And I don't know about you. I think I always been attracted to older men. I think older men are sexy. I like the distinguished look. Um, you know, but I don't have a type. But when I was younger, I've always was attracted to older men, and some women like that. Just that, wow, he's so mature. Then let's just be honest, just because they're older don't mean they mature, but that's a whole nother conversation. But younger women, depending on how they were raised, they're probably more mature, and they probably aren't really mentally compatible with men who are their age. Because at 20, I couldn't relate to 20-year-old men. I found them to be extremely immature. I couldn't. That too, Lux, looking for security as well. They want that retirement plan, baby. Oh, you talked about what age they hit the peak on the panel. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can speak of past, but I'm telling you, I turned 40 and said, "What is going on here? Who let the dogs out, child, honey?" I turned 40 and said I could hunch a tree just because it's outside. I don't know what happened. Something happens. I don't know, y'all. I can't experience. So to my young niecey poos, buckle up because it's gonna get interesting. It is going to get interesting, babies. I promise you. Yeah, it does, Miss J. I have to, from what I'm hearing, with older aunties and my sister, did myself, and when it started for me, age 40 definitely changed the game for me. I said, wait a minute now. Everything you thought you knew, you didn't know. Everything you thought you would do, honey, it changes. It changes, baby. I said, wait a minute now. Hot mess. Me having to cool myself off. It don't take much. You can be like, ooh, look at you. Where you carrying that garbage bag? Come here, let me touch you. Child, I don't know what it is, but it changes. Oh Lord. Miss J, better let him know. If I was looking, I would be looking for the cheese to melt my hamburger too. Blue, what you, Blue? What you talking? What you talking? The cheese to melt the hamburger, child. 30, about to be 34 in April. Yes, boo boo. In my first relationship, I was 17 and he was 32. Wow, good googa child. You should have told him to research it because it's definitely, yes, it has, honey. Oh, wow. I just looked at the time that I was live and it was 44:44. Might have to play that number, y'all. Wait, it was 44:44 and it's 44 watching. That's crazy. That was a lot of fours. Wow, wow, wow. And that's someone special to me is number. I love you, Mo, my baby. Miss her so much. Um, I think he's tracking now. Child. So I just had my moment. I'm doing better, y'all. Y'all know I used to come up here and it just be like 8 minutes or 9 minutes or something. I'm getting better, so don't do me. Please don't. I'm getting better. And yeah. I don't know where this is going, but I just felt like it was something I needed to talk about, child, because I said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I don't know. I hope I would like to see women be charged just as equally, if they commit these acts with these underage boys. And I would like to see them disgraced just like any other party. It shouldn't be we shouldn't just limit it to the males who do this and understand that women engage in these activities as well and call them out as well. Just saying. Call them out because sis, get it together. Get it together. Auntie has somebody kicked her door in after 2 weeks of meeting. Child. Child. honey. Yeah, I just think need to hold them accountable, and men don't need to be silent. Can need to just start hearing them out and listening, without laughing or not being dismissive, especially when they're sharing things that are something that we should take seriously. I couldn't imagine a woman explaining her experience with in fact, just thinking about it, imagine listening to a live and a woman is saying that when she was 15, her encounter was with a 34-year-old male. And imagine the shock if men laughed at that and said, "Oh, you was getting that old man stuff." Imagine the outrage. I think that outrage should be just as equal if it's a woman. So, yeah, both genders. Both genders. Yeah, Mr. Pratt, I think more men should. I really do. I really do. So I'm not going to hold you guys. That was just my chatty mental minute, something that I had to get out. Hold all of them accountable, y'all. They all nasty. Every last one of them. I don't care. You're nasty. Male, woman, whoever. If you do it, you're nasty. And they need to be shamed just as much, both genders. You do it with these little underage child, you're gross. And you need to be shamed and charged. Disgusting. Thank you, Auntie Lisa. I might talk on it a little bit here, throughout the month as we go on. I'm definitely going to talk into the credit unions because someone brought that up, and I just want to share just how beneficial they are. So, but yeah, I definitely want to make sure I shed light on this because women need to be accountable for their inappropriate behaviors, for over sexualizing men, for making advances on men, and they might not even, and it's unwarranted. You know guess what? Some men actually like to pursue, the things that some women do and say to men, just assuming that they can because they're a woman is gross. When I just think about how many things that have been said or musically, it's just, I don't know. I just think that a lot of the times we silence them and we should change it. We should change the game, y'all. We should change the game. I love you too much, Jay. I am, I am, because I'm claiming it and I'm choosing it. Have a blessed day too. Much love to everybody. Yes, and speak on how you teach your daughter with her account. Thanks, Miss J, because I'll be forgetting stuff. Y'all know I just went back to get that cookie jar that I remember when we did the last field trip at the antique store mall. I forgot all about it, and I'm so glad it was still there. I'm so forgetful at times. I love you too, my niecey Pooh J. Definitely a double standard, my treasure Pooh. My bad. I thought this was a different conversation. Please excuse me. Oh, Blue came in here talking about cheese, melting the cheese on the burger. Blue, I'm gonna need you to go back and hit it and catch the replay, and I want you to get a laugh at this too. Because I said, what is Blue talking about with watching the cheeseburger melt with the bun? Lord, I love you, Blue. Child, Blue came in here ready, child. She said, I'm gonna talk about this cheeseburger today. I ain't mad at you though. Yes, please talk about the credit union. All right, I'm gonna have to write it down, y'all. But keep me honest. Next time I go live, if it's not about that, please remind me what I said I was gonna do, because I promise you, I'll be saying I'm gonna do so much and I'll be forgetting, child. So that I needed that chunk of blue. I love you, girl. I hope you get a cheeseburger. I looked at it and said, "What the hell, Blue? What did you think we was talking about?" To where you typed in the chat about how the cheese got to be melted. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that because I don't know what part you came in to where you said, "Oh, all right, I'm about to talk about this cheeseburger." I love it. I love it. Oh, child, I got tears. All right, y'all, let me go. I don't want to hold y'all. Right, Miss J. And you know how I am with my food, y'all. Now I'm like, well, dang, do I want a cheeseburger on the grill? Lord have mercy. I love y'all for real. I promise you do. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I love y'all. Later.